Welcome back. Following a multi-million-dollar signing for water supply improvements for the Exumas, Minister of Works and Utilities Alfred Sayers highlighted improvements that have recently been put in place to secure a more consistent and reliable water supply.
The Georgetown desalination plant's production capacity was increased earlier this year from 330,000 imperial gallons per day to 450,000 imperial gallons per day to better serve the residents of eastern Exuma. Likewise, the corporation is making arrangements to put in place additional storage, pumping capacity, and standby power generation to improve reliability of its supply for Western Exuma. These works for Western Exuma will include the removal of the damaged storage tank at Steventon in the very near future. In the Exuma Keys, works have been completed to improve the corporation's storage capacity on Staniel Key, and distribution system extension are being planned for Black Point. Also, new standby generators have been installed on Staniel Key and Farmers Key to improve the reliability of those water supply systems.
He went on to say that the corporation will also be working closely with international stakeholders to support refurbishment of the Exuma wastewater treatment plant and improve the collection of wastewater from the developments in the Georgetown waterfront area, as well as boats moored in Elizabeth Harbor. The MP for the Exumas and the Minister of Tourism, Investments and Aviation, Chester Cooper, thanked the Water and Sewage Corporation's team for their efforts.
Let me also go on record as giving a special thanks to the teams of Water and Sewage in Exuma, Ms. Karen Roll and her entire team, as well as the teams that went into Exuma after the recent flooding from Nassau. You have truly made a difference in the lives of the people of Exuma. There have been others who have been pumping, but I want to say that Water and Sewage has been the real MVP. Thank you for what you've done, and I hope that you will continue to stand with us until the job is complete.
With the Bahamas being dedicated to the United Nations Sustainable Development Goals, SDG, Prime Minister Philip Davis is expected to appear on a panel discussion at the inaugural SDG conference, Transforming the Bahamas, with the theme being social inclusion. Representatives of the United Nations gave a bleak outlook on the likelihood of fulfilling sustainable development goals. President of the United Nations Economic and Social Council, Leshazar Stover, delivered remarks to the audience at the University of the Bahamas.
In the medium term, elevating potential growth remains crucial to accelerate progress towards the SDGs. Ladies and gentlemen, the integrated nature of SDGs calls for an inclusive approach to leave no one behind. People in vulnerable situations experience varied forms of discrimination and often suffer from lack of access to social services, healthcare, education, and employment. The persistent inequalities in the face of multiple crises need to be addressed to achieve inclusive, sustainable, and resilient societies. The development of targeted partnerships can be one means of addressing these challenges.
United Nations Residence Coordinator for the Bahamas, Vincent Sweeting, cites the multiple crises of the past few years as a reason for the Bahamas being off track when it comes to fulfilling its sustainable development goals. However, he gives credit to the government of the Bahamas for raising awareness to the SDGs and providing an enabling environment, particularly signing on to the UN's Multi-Country Sustainable Development Cooperation Framework.
Since then, through the dedicated support of a local UN office, we've developed a tailored 2-year country implementation plan which has guided UN partnerships and technical support in the development of your national trade policy, support to the Bahamas National Statistical Institute, support to the Bahamas' participation in the 4th Universal Periodic Review, and the mobilization of resources from the UN's Joint SDG Fund for a joint program to build back equal through innovative financing for gender equality and women's empowerment. Through the Resident Coordinator's Office in the Bahamas, we have supported the human rights architecture in the Bahamas through trainings, technical support, and consultations, including with the Bahamas Interministerial Human Rights Mechanism. We will continue to lend technical advice towards the establishment of a National Human Rights Institute in the Bahamas based on Paris principles.
The Bahamas ambassador to the Bolivarian Republic of Venezuela, Her Excellency Mrs. Melanie Hilton, recently participated in the first diplomatic retreat to CARICOM for the heads of mission in Caracas, Venezuela. The retreat, which coincided with the commemoration of the 50th anniversary of CARICOM, served to enhance communication, cooperation, and coordination among member states on various developmental issues. Her Excellency participated in the plenary session where heads of mission discussed issues of common interest such as regional integration, the impact of sanctions, and developmental concerns within the region, namely energy security, the Bridgetown Initiative and climate action, migration, and food security as well. Heads of mission were also hosted to a reception which afforded them the opportunity to network and build relationships with Venezuelan government officials. And finally, after 5 days of fierce competition, we've got the latest on the medal count from the Jubilee Bahamas Games. They have completed competition in sports like sailing, swimming, baseball. On the back of a very strong swim team, Grand Bahama has taken a commanding lead, especially in the hunt for gold medals. Grand Bahama has a total of 142 medals, including 66 golds, 42 silver, 34 bronze. Their arch rival, New Providence, second with 131 medals, including 40 gold, 52 silver, and 39 bronze. The Columbus Isles, surprising. They're led by San Salvador. They're in third place with 55 medals, including 16 gold, 11 silver, 28 bronze. Rounding out the top five is Andros with 41 medals, including 9 gold. And Long Island is also sitting right there in fifth place, 35 medals, sitting 6th through 10th is Exuma and Ragged Island 6th with 8 medals, Michael 7th with 12 medals, Eleuthera 8th with 6 medals, Bimini and the Berry Islands, they're 9th, they've got 3 medals, Abaco bringing up the rear in 10th place with 2 medals. Expect some more out of Abaco though. The competition continues tonight though with men and women's fast pitch softball at the Bankers Field in the Blue Hill Sporting Complex. Men and women's basketball also continues tonight. They'll be at the D.W. Davis Gym, some games also at the Kendall Isaacs Gym. That'll do it for your Jcn Evening News. I'm Jerino Saunders.
This segment of the news has been brought to you by Sun Oil Limited.